I'm delighted you could join me because I'm going to show you a very quick way to make beautiful Second Life textures even if you feel you're not artistic. Come to filterforge.com. It's one of my favorite tools for making filters and textures and all manner of graphical lushness, as you can see. I, in fact, used it in large amount of ways, an extreme capacity to create my Torley textures. Now, the full version after the 30-day trial, which will get you hooked, is pay for. It's not free, but there are discount versions. Let me go down here. Oh, let's go to buy here. And they will show you the feature matrix. You can see, I don't need that. I have the pro version, but I'm going to show you what it's like on the trial, which is full functionality anyway. You also notice they have free ones that are based on some of these node-based modules. So you can create metals, photo effects, frames. Now, the really, really cool thing is you can make just about anything seamlessly tiling, which means there will be no harsh, jagged edges that abruptly cut off. So come to FilterForge, go ahead and download and install it, and then you can begin browsing the web-based gallery. And then you can, after you're inspired by what's here, this is a new area, dig right into the filters. There's over 6,000 of them. Many are really high quality. In another tutorial you may have seen, I showed you some of the water ones. This is more of a general overview. So we search for metal. That's always popular. And look for that. And you can see there's metal plates, floors, and they get really, really complex. It's not cheap-ass computer art. You can see there's grime, there's grit, there's grunge. It's freaking amazing. And I remember first popularizing some of the seeds of this, I think back in 2007, and I've since seen more Second Life residents begin to use it. It makes things a lot easier. You can continue browsing and browsing and browsing, and then whenever you want something, it's like picking it out of the catalog. They're all free here included. You can just click Open in FilterForge, and it loads it into your library. Welcome to my FilterForge laboratory. You can run it standalone as I am here. Doesn't have to be a Photoshop plugin, which is really nice, of course, if you don't have Photoshop. And you can browse by different categories. I wish there was more leeway in terms of being able to sort your own. As you may have noticed, some of these may look kind of familiar because you may have seen them used in Second Life. Now let's go ahead and let's browse these organic ones. And now let's go to File menu and New Image. A reasonable size, which doesn't repeat too much but doesn't take too much memory, is 512 by 512. And just OK that. So it takes a while to generate. Keep in mind that it will just be patient. And there we have it. You can set some other options here like filter. You can change to anti-aliasing to make it smoother. Like it looks too rough. If you can see those fine details, then you want to up that some. The documentation is pretty helpful. They have nice user forums as well. There's some residents on there. I mainly lurk nowadays, although I used to actively post. Now, where it comes in handy to wonderful degrees is playing with these presets, because you can generate all sorts of variations. There are no two results that will be the same. So I just double clicked on that, and here we have a new one that loads. Now, each one has a customized basis of settings. If you want to randomize between them, you can go ahead and you can do that. Some of the filters have an amazing array of different variations, like bubbling. We can change the color in this one. So as you can see, it's genetics for your textures, which is beautiful. And you can go to settings, and if you want, say you want this to be more bluish, just select it from the color picker. And you want this to be more greenish, you can select that from the color picker. And say you want the scale, you want the bubbles to be bigger. It's as easy as that. And remember, all you got to do, this is almost universal, is make sure seamless tiling is checked. Because once that is checked, now it can show you, oh, look at the edges. It seamlessly tiles. And this is what you see is what you will get in Second Life. Now that we've done that, let's go ahead, and you can do this with any filter. These are the same basic steps. File menu and save image as, and let's go ahead and save it as bubbly. I do recommend PNG format. You can do JPEG, but no, because it's going to double compress once it gets up there. You don't want that. You want lossless quality here on your disk. You can save it. You can change these if you know what you're doing, if you know what you want. You can, if you want to include transparency. You don't have to, though. So this one I just set at 8-bit, best compression. Just nothing fancy, but it's a nice texture. So click OK. And let's have a look at bringing this into Second Life now. You can do the next steps just about anywhere in Second Life, but it's best if you have land that you can build on. As you'll see, go to File menu and Upload Image. This is pretty much the same process of steps for any texture you want. So we have Bubbly there. Click that and open that. And we can see, hey, there's our Bubbly friend. Let's go and upload Mr. Bubbly there, or Mrs. Bubbly. We're not quite sure yet. And OK that. OK. And it gives us this preview. Alrighty then. It looks very nice. I like the kind of shiny highlights. If you right click and create, like the time fabled legend says, it all starts with a cube. Or another prim, you can change that. I'm just going to stretch this out like that. And I'm also going to go to Texture tab and increase repeat. So you can see, I can prove, I can substantiate that it's going to tile smoothly. So the next thing to go is your inventory. Click and drag Bubbly to the texture square. And here it is. If you want more neutral lighting, you can just full bright it and it'll appear right there. This can be done for any texture that you bring out of Filter Forge. It's a lovely path. Even if you don't think you're an artist, it's so quick, so simple to get creative, and encourage you to get more advanced. Behind each and every one of these filters is a node-based editor. Different blocks are combined together, sort of like Legos, if you can see the Second Life parallel there. Click Filter Editor here, and for instance, let's edit this filter. In the editor, you'll see, and it looks very complex at first, and this is a very big window. I need to resize this. I'm not going to get deep into this, but let me zoom in on the controls so you can see what each one of them consists of. As I scroll through, you can see how all these things, these little simple modules, they interact through this flow to form the final results. And you can see as it goes on further, how it reaches the final result. This is really, really fascinating study in information architecture. Remember, if you find yourself at a loss for inspiration, just head back to filterforge.com/filters. Hey, this one makes good use of transparency. There's wood lattice. Robin Wood. I know that name. That's Robin Sojourner from Second Life. You can check out all sorts of things. You can search for any keywords. If you just keep reloading, it shows you there's featured ones. Some of these are intensely creative. And some of them aren't meant to be textures by themselves. They're meant to affect existing surfaces. You could browse on and on and on. It gives you so many ideas which you can apply within a few minutes for your textures in world to show off to others. I heart sharing creative tools. And finally, if you want to see what I've done, just come to torley.com/textures, and this will take you to this Flickr collection of all the Torley textures, which you can get in Second Life, or you can download them, edit them. It's under Creative Commons, so you can go ahead and modify, use them on your creations and resell those. That's fine. Just don't sell them as is. Please don't do that. Add some value. And click through any one of these, and they have lush previews. So many of them were affected with Filter Forge as a starting point or a midpoint, and I've used other tools like ArtRage. I consider with masterful creators taking a composite of diverse features and combining them, aggregating them into a colorful, brilliant whole is the way to go. And hey, that rhymes. Anyway, we've reached the end of this tutorial tape. Thanks for joining me on this adventure, and check out Filter Forge, make your own textures, and please show me what you've done. I'd love to see.